Hello again. Well, this time we're going to do what we call sitting with, sit-withs. Sit with, all of those things. It's another listening technique and a listening skill, and it's really useful, and it teaches you a lot about all sorts of things as well as listening. It's more about learning to listen with an open mind and not jumping to conclusions, not making assumptions, nor having expectations. You learn to listen to things other than words, again, only this is more detailed and will probably help you with that. And you'll be using this technique all the time as you walk in Otherworld. By the way, it's a really good idea to do this exercise outdoors when you're out for a walk, once you've got the basics of it under your belt. It doesn't have to be done indoors or sitting down. I do it when I go out, and I use my phone's voice recorder to record what I see and hear and say, and I use the camera for images as well, and it's really useful. And there's absolutely nothing wrong with using modern technology. It's there to be used. So, what it is sitting with an object, a stone, a leaf, a picture, an ornament, or a word if you like, and sit quiet with that object, giving it your full attention. It's like it was your best beloved for those moments while you're working with it. It truly is. Now, you don't give yourself any more than 5 minutes. You don't spend ages doing this. It's just 5 minutes and then you stop. So you can always use your phone or whatever as an alarm to say stop now. Otherwise you can drift off, and that's not the point, because once you drift off you stop giving the object your full attention and you wander off into the lovely clouds of Otherworld and adventures and journeys. And that's not the point of this exercise. We'll do those too, but at the moment, and this is important for when you go on journeys too, you need to learn how to give something your full attention. And this is another skill, another way of doing it, another thing that will help you get better and better at it. So you're giving the object your full attention and watching it, feeling it, and allowing what it says to you to flow across your mind. Now, that takes a bit of practice, but you're going to get there. You really are, and it will happen. Now, I'm going to use an object today because we're actually going to do it in a minute, and this is my object. It's a lovely white chalky stone. And what you do is just hold it and look at it. And keep your eyes open for this. Look at it. You may shut them, just blink occasionally, but keep your eyes open, keep your eyes focused on the object. That's why it's good to have an object rather than a word. And let images come from it and flow across your mind. They will. And in your other hand, you're going to need to have a pen and a paper. Or, if you're out for a walk, this is where I use my phone, and I just turn it on to voice record, click, and so I talk into it at the same time. I'm not going to do this while you're doing the work today, because it'll really stop you up. But I am going to do it when I go out, and you do it when you go out too. So you're there watching the pictures, listening, sounds and words that come, that you notice, that stand out as you sit there with your object. But you don't let the stream of consciousness stuff happen. Just let the images come and just do quick, brief doodles on the page. I've done some before. I feel like Delia Smith here. Here's one I did earlier. And this is what I did with my stone. I think hope you can see this. Yeah? And it's just literally little words and phrases. I think the longest I've got is grass hangs down from cliffs, or waves lap softly on the shore. It was really important to say softly because it felt like that. And that's all I want, not sort of and don't write it down in lines like this. Write it down in doodles, dotted all over the page, as I did. So you're going to work with the stone for 5 minutes in a minute, or your object. So pause the video now for a minute and look around and just find yourself an object, a stone, a crystal, an ornament, anything you like. Go and find yourself one now. And now you're back with your object. We're nearly ready to go. So sit down comfortably and work with me. And to help you this time, I think I'll drum for you. So hang on a minute while I just get a small drum. He often likes to be used, so we'll just use him softly so that you know that I'm still here, and it will keep you together and you'll know when the 5 minutes is up. So, got your object all ready? Ready to go? Hold your object, focus on your object, and spend the next 5 minutes sitting with your object, sensing, feeling, seeing, hearing what it has to tell you. come. Back you come. Put the object down now. Finish making any doodles that come. Just sit with the paper, with the object near you. Just make sure there are any more doodles. If they want to come, jot them down on your piece of paper now. And gradually come back. Come back. Come back. So, how was that? Hopefully it was interesting for you, probably surprising. But something I'd like you to do lots of times. I'd like you to do it several times a week and keep doing this and practicing your asking and practicing your listening and practicing your hearing without interrupting, or interpreting rather, and keep doing this just for a few weeks before you move on. It really, really helps because it gets some very basic stuff into your bones. So let it happen. Now, I'm going to ask you to do something completely different. Just put your doodles down, put your object down, say thank you to your object. Thank you for being there and thank you for helping me with this. That was really good. And put them down, put them away. In a minute, you're going to get up, you're going to turn the video off, stop watching videos altogether for a while, turn it off, and go and do something completely different. That will help you put the whole of your experience that you've just had out of your conscious mind, and then it goes into your cauldron, as we say, into the brew pot of your heart mind. But you have to leave it alone once you've filled the pot, when you've got it going. Leave it alone. Go away and do something completely different. Do some gardening, go shopping, go for a drive, go for a walk. You know, do the washing up. Really boring. Whatever. But do something that has nothing to do with this work for you. Let it all go. It's really important to change your focus like this after doing work. You actually get quite immersed and you do a lot. And if you keep on worrying at it, like a terrier with a bone, it just clogs up your unconscious. Now, the problem with that, the interesting bit with that, is that your unconscious is a part of the universal unconscious. So when you clog up your bit, it's like this little block happens in the big universal unconsciousness out there. And that's Otherworld. That's part of the lower world. And what you do here really does affect what happens there. So please don't do it. Please let go and allow it to just brew. Because the universal unconscious does not really appreciate being clogged up. So we learn not to do that. Okay? So, going for a walk, going gardening, shopping, whatever. And then you come home. Now, when you get back from doing whatever you were doing, then you can start again. But start again by make yourself a drink, something you like, maybe have a quick snack even. And then sit down with your drink again and with your doodles. Now you can go in there. Now you can start working with them, okay? But you just look at them. Try not to read in the sense of, like you do with a book with a frown on your face as well. Just look and let your eye fall over them, all over the picture, okay? And just sit there, sipping your tea, and allow the doodles to show themselves to you, because they've got stuff to say, more than just what you've written as well. And other things will come to mind as you just sit there looking at your doodles. This is why it's looking at and not reading. And as the stuff comes, you just absorb it. You don't try and make sense of it. You just absorb it, and again it goes into your cauldron, and you allow it time for digestion and incubation. And it'll probably continue to bubble and boil for ages, you know. You may find yourself even months ahead. Oh, that came to me out of what I did that day 6 months ago. This happens. And those little things are bubbles of inspiration, and they leap out at you every now and again out of the cauldron. We've got a story of Taliesin about that. And if I haven't already got it on the Story Cave, I will have soon, because it's one of my favourites. And it's about how you stir and stir the pot, and you wait and you wait and you wait for it to brew, and then all of a sudden it's ready, and it jumps out, and 3 drops of wisdom jump onto your thumb, and it stings because it's really, really hot. You and a whole adventure comes out of that. But wait for the story. It'll be up soon if it's not up already. I don't think it is, but it will be soon. Now, you do this sit-with technique all the time in your work with Otherworld, as I said. And it's really worthwhile to repeat sitting with. Not just sitting with your doodles, but also to do the exercise again. Have a different object. What have I got? Oh, a really lovely candlestick here. That's perfectly good. And I can sit with that and see what images come to me. I mean, some are actually coming off already to me. But do the same thing as you did with the last object. Doodle them, sit for 5 minutes, doodle them, and go. Now, if you want to, when you're repeating the doodles and the sit with exercise for a little while yet, turn this tape on again, and this video on again, and move it to the bit of the drumming, and then you've got your time, okay? So you can always time yourself that way if you're indoors and available to watch the video again. So practice it. Keep practicing. You'll learn so much from what appears to be just a simple little exercise. And you'll be using it, hopefully, for the rest of your life. So enjoy, and go and do something completely different now. Come back, sit with your doodles, and do it all over again in a couple of days. Take care for now, and I'll see you next time. Bye.